Today on the program, we are introducing you to a part of Michigan that celebrates history, collections, memories, quality, value, and really good golf along the way. In fact, it's all part of one very cool experience in Jackson, Michigan. You are in for quite a ride in the moments ahead, so stick around as we tee it up in Jackson.
Welcome to Michigan Golf Live Television, shining the spotlight on the best places to play, stay, and celebrate the greatest game on earth. MGL TV takes you from legendary courses close to home to bucket list destinations around the world. If it has great golf, stunning scenery, incredible food, and unforgettable experiences off the course, we're there. Stay connected to Michigan Golf Live 24/7 on Facebook, X, Instagram, and our YouTube channel, and be sure to visit the all-new MGLTV.com. At Michigan Golf Live, we talk golf all the time. And now, here's your host, Bill Hobson.
Hello, friends, and welcome into the program. Bill Hobson here, and I am excited to have you along for the ride because today we have a lot of ground to cover as we showcase places to play, places to eat, and places to enjoy all around Jackson, Michigan. We have 4 courses, a couple of restaurants, and some other attractions all coming up in the next few minutes. So we're going to get right to it and head out to the first tee of our featured golf course known as the Grande. And if ever a course was appropriately named, it is definitely this one. If ever there was a course appropriately named, I think it's the Grande. From the vastness of the property to the quality of the course, and you've been here since basically day one. How do you describe the Grande?
This course is large. It's got a lot of acres, huge fairways, huge tees, greens, and there's a lot of room to hit the ball out here, and it's beautiful.
I would think it would catch a lot of first-timers by surprise at how vast all of this is, and it's a course that feels like it's perhaps in a different part of the state. You may be surprised to find the terrain of the Grande here in Jackson.
Yeah, you don't usually see elevation like this around here, from the tee shots hitting down in the fairways to greens above you, and all the trees around. You don't have a lot of the traffic noise or houses or anything around this course.
How do you describe the challenge here? You said the fairways are pretty wide, the greens are pretty large. This is not an easy course, so where's the challenge come in?
It's challenged because it's a lot of carry distance. You don't have run-ups to the greens. You got to carry the ball up to the green. You got to carry over some swamps out here off the tee. So getting the ball in the air is a huge thing out here.
Okay, let's talk about the greens for a couple minutes because they are big. And if you find the correct place, got a good chance of making your putt for par or birdie. If you're on the wrong side of the equator, the fun is just beginning.
Yes. 3 putts are common out here. You can get 80, 90 footers, and if you're not on the right side of the ridge, they might break 5, 6, 7 feet. And lag putting is something to practice before you come out to this course.
One of the things that we talk about here throughout Jackson is that not only is the golf really, really good, but it's a really good value.
Yeah, there's a lot of great golf courses in Jackson, Michigan, and really good value up here. I just think this course offers up north golf in a lot of ways down here in southern Michigan, and you don't get that anywhere else.
The course itself, I would describe it as a getaway. So many people get to come here from, a couple hundred miles away. I had just guys from Louisville this past weekend, which was amazing, a day trip at that. For the amount of golf courses we have from low level to high end, I don't think we get enough love, just as a city. And then even talking to high-end courses like you're going to cover today, from the Grande to Calderone to Arbor Hills, I believe. Those are all beautiful courses, all worth the money. And you go anywhere else, you're paying double that. Right here in Jackson, you can find all the golf you need.
So you finish your round of golf at the Grande, and less than 3 minutes away, you come to a classic mom and pop owned place to grab a bite. It's called Booher's Fresh Market and Diner. And here's Mr. Booher himself. So Craig, this place has a cool feel to it, and I understand you have the best food from Istanbul to Constantinople.
Yep, you travel both cities and you'll be good, even though it's the same city.
All right, so what's special about this place that you have your dream being played out here?
Sure. I used to cook for my students when I was a teacher at the local high school, and they'd make food for them at all kinds of events and things like that. And they would always encourage me to come back and do weddings for them, graduation parties. I do study parties at my house and things like that. So when I got to thinking of what I would do when I would retire from teaching, this kind of became a natural home. I had friends back home, I grew up in Detroit, who are Italian. Their moms taught me how to do the recipes and things like that. Homemade fettuccine, homemade lasagna, homemade chicken parmesan, everything's made from scratch. But then our burgers are very, very popular. We won an award for best burger in Jackson that first year we opened. And we use half-pound patties, Detroit-style smash burgers. We make our own sauce. We chop all of our veggies fresh to order.
Okay, friends, I want you to listen to me very clearly. This place is as good as advertised. Do not just drive past Booher's on M50. Stop in, have a burger, have the chicken parm, and whatever you do, make sure you have one of the homemade pies. We've got apple, we've got peanut butter, they've got chocolate. You want to do this, trust me. I'll be here for a few minutes, so we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're back on the golf course as we continue exploring golf, life, and fun all around Jackson, Michigan. And in the meantime, homemade pie, it's kind of hard to beat. Welcome back into the show as we continue taking you on a tour of golf, life, and fun all throughout the Jackson area. And we'll get back to the golf course in just a moment, but we also want to take some time to show you some things you can do off the course. Now, Lucy and I have come indoors for some pickleball fun at the Crossroads Pickleball facility, a beautiful indoor set of courts that'll keep you fit and having a lot of fun when you're not on the course. It's a really cool facility you have here, and for our golf audience who's looking for something to do when they're not on the course.
We've got 6 courts here, all indoors, air conditioned, heated in the winter, beautiful bathrooms, there's showers here, incredible place to play.
Is it open to the public? Can people watching our show come in and play?
Yeah, absolutely. So all of our games, matches, tournaments, leagues, everything's managed through an app. So if you go to our website, crossroadspickleball.com, you can download the app, you can book it online as well. You select the time slot that you want to play, and it's as simple as that.
How successful have you been thus far?
You know, it's been an overwhelmingly tremendous response from our community of people who have never played pickleball to people who had maybe played when they're on vacation. It's been incredible. So we've got about 250 members here at Crossroads. In our busy seasons through the winter, there could be over 1,000 people in the building throughout the week, especially over the holidays when people are back from vacation. So it's been so much fun to watch the community come together. You see people here that develop new friendships. There's been relationships, people get married and have kids that met here at Crossroads. So it's an honor and a blessing to be a part of it.
True or false, Lucy is taking it easy on me.
Lucy was 100% taking it easy on you. Our most competitive child we have by far.
You know, I'm really not sure that I can beat Lucy. She's so fast, she's so young. She didn't have as big a lunch as I did. So I'm gonna head back to a sport that I'm a little more comfortable in, and that is golf, for our next featured stop as we explore golf, life, and fun in Jackson. When you talk about a course that dates back to 1929, there have to be some good stories about Cascades. My understanding is you started here in 1930. So what do you remember?
Well, I remember quite a bit, but one of the great stories that I do not remember, 1965, Jack Nicklaus played out here in an exhibition, and he was playing with Dave Hill, who's from Jackson, you know, very successful long career on the PGA Tour, and Dave shot the course record 63 that day, and Jack shot a 70, and the story goes that Jack was not very happy that he thought, you know, Dave kind of showed him up that day, and, you know, saying the people are out here to see me, you know, and you go out and kick my butt. But yeah, both Jack and Arnold Palmer both played here in exhibitions.
I think the bones of this course are still what they were back during that match and back in the very beginnings, because it's a classic design where things are a little tight, the trees form the boundaries.
Yes.
How do you describe Cascades?
Well, like you said, classic design, Tom Bendelow design, you know, who designed a lot of courses in Michigan around that time period. But like you said, mature trees, tree-lined fairways. Fairways are a little narrow. You know, the greens have got a lot of slope in them, a lot of subtle slope, a lot of ridges that kind of bisect the middle of the green. But what I love about this course is it's very challenging. It's a great tournament course. You know, we've hosted USAM qualifiers out here in the past. So it'll test your best golfers, but it's very playable for golfers of all skill levels. You know, there's not any forced carries out here. You know, the approaches to the greens are very generous. You know, you don't have to carry bunkers, you know, or hit up to elevated greens. So it's a very accessible course for players of all abilities, but will still challenge the best.
The greens are smaller. Picking the right spot is the key to success, isn't it?
Yes, a couple greens like 8 and 17, you know, have very severe slopes from back to front. So if you get above the pin, good luck, you know, stopping it. You know, you're asking for a 3-putt. But a lot of the greens have those ridges that run right from front to back, right in the middle of the green. So you have to be on the correct side of the green where the pin is. Otherwise, you're putting over a big ridge, and again, it makes a very tough 2-putt.
There's something special about playing a classic course. I don't know what it is. It's definitely not tricked up.
No.
There's nothing blind to a tee shot. It's right there in front of you.
Front of you.
But man, those trees have matured into a true obstacle or a true defense of it. And it's not one that you have to be overly long to play. You just have to be accurate.
Yeah, 6,600 yards from the back tees. It's not a long course by today's standards, but I think it plays a little longer to that. And yeah, distance obviously helps, but your accuracy, your position, putting the ball in the right spot is a lot more important than the length.
I know one of the things you are super proud of is the conditioning of this course. And it being a municipal course, I think it will take a lot of people by surprise to see how good it is. Tee to green, fairways are plush, the greens are rolling, they're quick. That's not always the case with a municipal golf course because budgets being what they are. What's the magic here? How'd you pull it off?
Well, you know, great superintendent, great staff, and yeah, the budget is not big. You know, the superintendent fights a lot of difficulties. You know, these are old clay-based greens, you know, just on field grass, you know, so we don't have the benefit of the modern builds that have, you know, sand-based greens, bent grass, where you can cut them really short. You know, I think it is one of the better municipal courses in the state.
I would agree with that, and as we were making our way around it, on our crew, we were talking about how much of a value it is to play here. Can you kind of speak to the overall Jackson area golf value?
Jackson is a golf destination in Michigan, you know, because of the quality of courses and the affordability. I mean, you go an hour in any direction, you know, and you're going to pay, you know, 50% more to play a course of this quality. We're really fortunate to have the quality of courses we have in Jackson, the amount of courses we have, and for the price point, you know, it really is a bargain.
Our next featured golf course dates back to 1925. The boss hasn't been here quite that long, but Chris Cummings and his wife bought this place just a few years ago, and now you're in this role of having a superintendent's background, but you own a golf course called Arbor Hills. What's this place like?
It's great, and it's a 101-year-old golf course this year. The centennial was last year. It's a parkland-style golf course. We started as a private course back in the early 20s and went public in 2007. It's like longer, narrow fairways, small greens, and not a whole lot of sand traps, and the greens defend themselves. Smooth, a lot of undulations. It's Arthur Hand design. You know, he's a field superintendent for Donald Ross. So, I mean, all know Ross designs.
I've had the chance in competitions through the Golf Association of Michigan to play here a couple times, and it's basically private club conditions. And I know that you take great pride in that, especially given your superintendent's background. So for people who haven't been here to play, what should they expect?
Expect smooth, fast greens. The course is tight, so you're going to have to pick your shots. It's not something where you just tee it high and let it fly. You've got to pick every shot. But if you take some risk and get rewarded, it's big rewards, but if you don't, it's a massive fail.
In this era of so much discussion about courses becoming obsolete because the game has gotten too long, I love the Arbor Hills of the world because you can be long and still be in trouble here.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of holes. If you're too long, you're in trouble. But a lot of the trees are on the interior of the golf course, so not on the exterior like a lot of modern courses where you have big fairways, a little bit of rough and large greens. Here you have a lot of rough, small fairways, and smaller greens. And each green has subtle undulations to a couple of two-tiered greens like number 10, the hole right behind us. It's a starting hole on the back nine. It's par 3, about 170 yards. If the flag's on the top shelf, it's a very tough putt. On the bottom shelf, a little bit easier, but there's not a whole lot of other trouble to get into besides just that two-tiered green.
Arbor means trees. There are a lot of those, and the greens, like we've discovered, are very small, undulating, fairly quick. It's a fun course. We get a lot of play, especially in the afternoons. We can put the hole locations in some very, very tricky spots, and I hear about that quite a bit.
We discovered the greens challenge right from
the beginning on the first hole,
which was a sideways tilt to that green.
Yeah, there really is, and you will find everything pretty much on your greens breaks to the southwest for the most part.
So bring your compass.
Bring your compass. If it looks like it's going left, it's probably going to go right on you. So there's some tricky greens out here. There's a couple of the greens I call with no answer. You just don't know what it's going to do to you.
Back in 1925, when they were stimping at 5,
yes,
the undulation wasn't quite as pronounced. But now you've really got to feel your way around these greens.
You do. There's a lot of subtle breaks that you don't realize unless you've played here a number of times. And once you do that, you'll be able to pick up on what things are going to do and when they're going to do it in your putt.
Now, I know a lot of you who love to golf also love collections and classic cars. And my goodness, there is a hidden gem in Jackson that you have got to put on your itinerary. It is called Ye Olde Carriage Shop Museum. And this dear lady, Judith Ganton, is part of the couple that has the vision for this place. How do you summarize what you have here?
We have a little bit of everything for everybody. If you're interested in cars, antiques, we've got antiques, we have classic cars, we have a little bit of everything.
And you celebrate especially cars that were made in Jackson. I love that part of this connection. I don't know if a lot of our audience is aware that happened. Well,
in the early 1900s, Jackson was a booming community. We had over 23 manufacturing companies. We had tool and die. Spartan was making radios. It was a really booming community.
Now, if somebody watching says, I had no idea that was in Jackson and I want to go there for myself, how do they make that happen? Because I know you're by appointment for tours.
Right, but we do have a website. We do have a Facebook. And my phone number is out there, and you just call me, and I work with you. I do tours on Sunday, I do tours on holidays, because I enjoy it, and I think there's something here for everybody.
Okay, we have 54 holes of golf under our belt here in the Jackson area, and frankly, I've worked up a bit of an appetite. So let's head inside this place. It's called One North Kitchen and Bar. See what's on the menu. Okay, so this is my first time in One North. The place is hopping. What's special about One North?
Well, it's definitely the place to be, One North. The food, we just rolled out with a new menu. We have shrimp scampi, we have shrimp and grits. Traverse City Burger is one of our popular ones, and the rice bowl is one of our signature items. And we have indoor patio, we have outdoor patio seating, we have live bands also. Pretty much every night we have some kind of activity.
One last note before we leave One North. Do not depart the premises without ordering something called the Waffle Wreck. I don't even know what all's in here, but it looks pretty darn good. And after 54 holes of golf, I think I've earned this. So I'll spend a couple minutes, knock this thing off, and when we come back, we'll get to our final featured course as we continue experiencing Jackson. Welcome back into the show as we celebrate golf and life in the Jackson, Michigan area. We'll get back to the golf course here in just a moment, but one of my favorite things whenever we visit a special destination is when that destination has extra story to it, extra history to it, that's beyond what you may have already known. Well, in the category of Did You Know, I bring you to the first stop on a 5-part self-guided tour throughout the city of Jackson, because Jackson was actually the hub of the Underground Railroad. In the days leading up to the American Civil War, Jackson was hub and haven for thousands of slaves escaping through this human network called the Underground Railroad, and this area helps tell that story. It's really cool, and it's definitely something you need to put on your itinerary when you make your way to Jackson. Now, speaking of things to put on your itinerary when you come to Jackson, there's more good golf to be enjoyed, including our next stop at Calderone Golf Club. Our next featured golf course is Calderone Golf Club, and it is literally just seconds off of I-94, officially in Grass Lake, which is a little bit east of Jackson proper. Director of Golf, Steve Sorry, what is special about this place?
Well, we've got a great team out here. We got a great piece of property. The front 9 is definitely kind of a Scottish Link style layout. The back 9, you get a little bit more Parkland feel, but we've got about 7,000 yard layout, championship layout. The property is beautiful. Our conditions are incredible. Like I said, referenced earlier, Clayton and his staff do an unbelievable job out here. The conditions for public golf in the state of Michigan, you'd be hard pressed to beat them.
I was telling some other folks that when you go to Calderone, you really play a golf course that is in private club shape. This place has some challenge to it. What is the biggest challenge? What does the golfer need to be most prepared for when they come play Calderone?
Yeah, so with a links layout, you expect to have to play a little bit of the ground game, and firm and fast is kind of our key, like you referenced, private club conditions at a public course. You really do have to be prepared to handle all the elements, whether it be the wind, which is obviously in a more open layout, a big factor, but then, the different slopes on the terrains, where the pin placements are on a given day from one hole to the next changes the holes entirely. So it's, really being able to kind of navigate the slopes and the terrain and conditions that Mother Nature throws at you is the key.
You've heard talk about the great conditioning here at Calderone. This guy leads the team that makes that possible. Clayton Simmons, the superintendent. What are you proudest of when you talk about Calderone?
Man, really everything. It's just an awesome piece of property. Drains really well, so it makes it easy any kind of rain we get, which makes it maintaining really easy. And really just everything about it.
You get to call this place home, man. This is such a special golf course. What do you want to brag about the most?
What excites me is the people we get to work with, the ownership we get to work with. They just kind of took their confidence in me and our team and our plan here. And anytime they make a few bucks, it goes right back into our golf course. And it's just like a golf course. Like, this is where you come to play. It's like a club where you play. It doesn't have all the frills, but you're going to get great conditions, as you probably saw when you're out there playing.
So we explored a lot of Jackson, but we didn't explore all of Jackson. For the golfer, whether it's the buddies trip or the family that's coming this way, let's give them some ideas for things to do away from the course.
Yeah, I think there are a lot of things you'll be surprised about within Jackson County. If you go to the core of the city of Jackson itself, we've got 75 murals that were painted by international artists around all of our downtown walls. So these are high quality, full scale murals. So definitely something you can walk around and see at no charge. So we love that. You can pour into many of the things going on around downtown. We've got a brand new honky tonk at Oak and Iron, one of our restaurants downtown. We've got multiple breweries that you can stop at, an axe throwing bar called Axe Play, Tilted Arcade. If you're going for kind of that nightlife kind of thing, Luna Lux is a great kind of area to get some good drinks and enjoy the evening. The people here is usually what captures guests and visitors. It gets them to a point that people take the time to share their stories. If you walk into their businesses, they're happy and proud to share where they've come from or give you insights into where else you can visit. There's competition as any community would have, but when it comes down to it, we all kind of take care of each other and are really proud to show off the places that we've been, the places we've come from, and some of our history and story as well.
Well, I don't know about you, friends, but I learned a great deal during our time in Jackson. We know the golf is fantastic. The value of these courses is unmatched, and the area is so rich in history in so many different ways. It's just something you need to take the time to come here and explore. So why don't you do that? Visit Experience Jackson online to set up your ideal trip to this wonderful area And while you're here, take a little extra time to not just play more golf, but soak in more of what Jackson has to offer. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you down the road next time as we continue our explorations, and I'm going to try to work out a deal so that this can become the new official vehicle of the show.